the next year, my senior year,
Yeah.
I went with this one guy because I had to ask him. No one wanted to ask me. So I
Yo,
asked,
weird as hell.
and so I asked this guy, and guess what? In the party bus, I was dancing so hard on this guy, I ripped his jeans.
Right. I got a podcast. I to the no. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of I'm Literally Screaming. Everybody in the stands are taking off their clothes. No, we don't want to see your nude bodies. Or maybe we do. Who knows? Keep staying and listening, and you'll find out. Hi, everyone. As all of you know, or if you don't know, I'm Spence Swan, and today I am joined by a very special guest, Miss Sarah Baska.
You called me special. God?
The wind is hitting the
God?
Is that you?
Hello?
The Holy Spirit is in the room.
Yeah, we have the Holy Spirit.
I mean, you went to a Catholic school, right?
Holy shit, yeah, I
So we
did.
both have religious trauma.
Wait, you went to a Catholic school?
I went to a Christian school, Baptist Christian school. It was very
Where?
intense. Medford, Oregon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're like, where is that? It's a
Yeah,
great
I went to Catholic school, a little bit different. My first grade teacher, she was a nun, and she also died the same year I had her.
That's a little traumatic for
Yeah,
you.
we didn't really know. She just stopped showing up, and then we got a new teacher.
Did anyone tell you?
Like we found out like a week after it happened. But I just like, she was a strict teacher, and we only had her for like a few months. But she was really sweet to me. I was such a good kid. That's a lie. I mean, I was
see you
good.
being a sweetie pie.
I was good, but like I got in my fair share of trouble. Did you ever do anything in Christian private school that got you in trouble?
I was just petrified the entire experience. We had chapel every Friday.
Oh my God, we had mass every Thursday.
What is mass like?
So you literally go in and then you sit in the pews, and I haven't been to church in so long, but there's like the opening prayer, and then you hear the priest talk, you sing a psalm, you get on your knees, you're back to sitting, on your knees again, back to standing up. Then you go for, if you're like not baptized, if you already had your first communion, you get like the Eucharist and you could have wine. Actually,
At school?
like it was like a sip.
Wait, really?
Yeah, because it's the body and blood of Christ. I remember when
That's true.
on the weekends, I used to be an altar server. I will say that like, yeah, I did take a big gulp of wine every single time. I'd be like, they
100%.
like dip the chalice in your mouth, and I would hold it, and I'd be like, okay, like work.
Chugging it.
I was such a horrible altar server.
Wait, what is an?
Okay, so like an altar server is like someone who assists like the priest on stage. Like we would set up the altar. We would like walk down the aisle with candles. During Easter Mass, I am not joking. You have to walk down with a lit candle, and I'm walking down the aisle, and all of a sudden my candle blows out. So I'm like trying to kick the kid in front of me. I'm like, yo, light up the candle, bro. And he's like, no, just shut up. And I'm like, please. So then for Easter Mass, I finally get to the front. My candle's not lit. I ended up like, I put the candle down, so I didn't like need it anymore. But if you have been to Easter Mass in a Catholic church, shit gets crowded. Like there are
Really?
certain holidays where it's like, oh, we have to go to church. Like Easter Mass and Christmas, like those are the two main holidays where everyone's like, let's all go to church. Like to the point where there's no like sitting room anymore. Like you have to stand.
Oh my God.
I fell asleep during the mass, and my friend, like I had one job, and it was to bring up the book. I was out.
You were in the church.
Yeah,
Like you were in it. You were working it.
Oh yeah, I was an altar boy. I used to help like the Knights of Columbus. They have like the Knights of Columbus, and they basically like go down the aisle and like accept the like you put money in the thing to help the church. It's like a basket.
Oh yeah. Like tithing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So we used to do that. I used to do that before I was an altar boy. Another time I was altar serving, and there was, oh my God, there was like, we had like these bells.
Okay.
So there was a song. It's like Gloria, Gloria, glory in the highest, and you would ring the bell.
Sure.
I always had the job of ringing the bell because that was my shit.
That's cute.
Thank you.
That's a cute job.
And I remember there was this one day, this big ass bug on the wall. And there was like books I could have used. I could have used my hand. My brain immediately while standing, because we were like, I was like, nah, bitch. We're killing this hoe.
And it's right there.
Yeah, I was like, I'm killing this hoe with a bell.
Stop.
I picked up the bell while the priest was speaking, and all you hear is echoes going throughout the church. My mom I felt my mom's eyes staring at me from the back of the church this.
Oh, just
when like mom's lips like they're like. That's what I got.
Laser beams.
My friend Diane at the time, we both started laughing. Not good at all. And I remember like when you were like an altar server, you could also help out like with handing the Eucharist or this and the third. And our moms literally, when we were handing them their Eucharist, were like,
ooh. And you know you're going to get it after service.
Oh, yeah, no.
That car ride home
must
have been terrifying. Like,
I told my mom what happened, and she was a little, like, chill about it. But, like, I was like, Mom, there was a bug. And she was like, Spencer, really, during Mass? Like, you couldn't have used anything else? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I just saw the bug, and I just, like, instincts took over. I'm sorry. Like
the way no one probably noticed it either. It was just you.
It was just I literally like smacked. I'm really sorry. Like call me sacrilegious, whatever you want. But like I was an altar boy, and I was in church every Saturday, Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday?
Yeah.
You're 2 days off from school.
Yeah, and then are you ready for this? I had to do during like I think it was Advent. They do the stations. They do the Stations of the Cross.
Okay.
And if you're an altar server, you have to go to the church and do the Stations of the Cross, where you walk from each station. This is like during Easter, from like Jesus's death to his resurrection, and it is the longest Mass I have ever been in. And for some god awful reason, me and like 2 other people, like it was always me. Like every single time I did Stations of the Cross, like I was always like, who is scheduling this? Like, why do I keep getting chosen?
You're the cutest one.
I hated it. Like I hated it.
Wait, so hang on. What do you mean? So you have to reenact?
You basically like
do you have to reenact?
So like around the church,
what?
Around the church there are like different, I don't want to call them like posters, but it's like some churches have like the murals like in stained glass. Our church had them in like these wooden blocks, and the entire Mass you have to walk to each block while they tell you exactly what's going on in the picture. And I had to carry this heavy ass cross around.
Oh,
it was like a cross on a staff. It was so heavy. The first time I ever did Stations of the Cross, I tried to take the cross out of the thing, and I actually fell back and it hit my head. And my mom
in front of everybody?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
I don't know why they allowed me to altar serve. Like, I had one practice lesson. They're like, oh, if you want to altar serve, just come in and, like, we'll teach you in one night how to altar serve. And then after that, I was an altar boy, and it was honestly, like...
But was it kind of giving everything? Because you were in theater.
Like...
So you're on stage, you're in front of a crowd.
I mean, like...
But it's just it's a different vibe.
Oh, it's like a different vibe. Like, you know, like if it was like, I don't know, like a play, right? And I smacked a bell on a wall during church, we would be like, LOL. But everyone was like, okay, so what the hell?
This is so disrespectful.
Yeah, they're like, what is wrong with this kid?
He's going to hell.
No,
for
probably.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hey you, it's your queer best friend Cameron Esposito, and I am super excited to tell you about my brand new podcast, Survive or Die Trying. Now, I am a lot of things, but I am no survival expert. On my new podcast, we're going to learn together. Bear attacks, bad breakups. I am going to give you the lowdown on how to prepare for life's absolute worst case scenarios. Join me, some special guests on Survive or Die Trying, a comedy podcast that prepares you for anything or nothing.
For me, every Friday we would have just a regular worship service, right? So we all had to wear church attire.
Did you have uniforms?
So annoying. No, thank God.
I did.
Oh, man. We weren't allowed to wear certain things, though. Couldn't wear shorts. Couldn't show our kneecaps.
Oh, because those really get me going.
Ooh, it got the boys distracted. I don't know. And then we had to wear little tank tops, but they had to be 4 fingers. Couldn't show your collar, but it was so annoying. But every single Friday, I was always so distracted because there was a worship team, and it was the 8th graders. And it was like the coolest 8th graders that could sing. And I was always just staring at them. Since I was in kindergarten, I'm like, that's going to be me.
Was
It's
it?
gonna be me. Oh, once I got to 8th grade, I was the first person in line to audition.
Did you get it?
Oh yeah. Oh bitch. Every Friday I was up there just you know, and I was and it felt so cool because like my whole school was like, wow.
See, that's how, okay, I'm not trying to sound like any type of way, but that's how the Christians get you.
Yup.
The music,
Oh
the
yeah.
live music
Oh.
slaps.
It actually does slap.
Yeah,
We had
like-
like a drummer. One of the 8th graders could
God,
drum
we're
in the
so
back.
lucky. See,
was
I had to listen
fun.
to old people who were singing in the back upper deck of the freaking church, singing these sad ass like freaking songs like. Meanwhile, you're rocking out like,
I
yeah.
literally, dude, I would get to have solos and shit. Like it would
screw you.
alternate every week, like who got a solo. It was only like 20 seconds long, but when it was my turn, oh my
ate it
God.
up.
I like took the microphone off the stand and I would like walk around on stage.
You're
oh
so
my God.
lucky.
God is so good. Yeah. I didn't really even. It's so funny when I think about it because I wasn't even really connecting to God.
God, you're like, no, this is my show, babe.
It was
You're worshiping me right now, girl. Like that's what it was, huh?
Spotlight on me. I'm just walking around like, yeah. But yeah, I couldn't do that Christian school anymore. It was just getting
When
to
did
me.
you leave?
I left. So there's a high school attached to it, kind of, but in a different building. And my freshman year, so my sister, my older sister, she was prom queen, captain of the volleyball team. Like Rachel Basca was that bitch. So everyone looked at me as little Basca.
No.
And once I got to high school, so I was a freshman, she was a senior. And I felt so much pressure from all the teachers. And like, everyone was like, oh my God, you're Rachel Basca's little sister. And my sister was so smart too. She was almost valedictorian. Like, she was just that bitch. And I sucked at school. Like, I was not.
No.
Like, that was just not my thing. I was very creative and I loved.
You know what I
singing
also
and
think it
dancing.
is? I feel like when you grow up, see, I never grew up with any siblings, but I feel like when you grow up with an older sibling and they do really well, and then there's that pressure on you immediately, you're just like, screw it. I don't want to like, because like, for example, like when I was growing up, I was like, oh, I don't have the pressure of like anyone else before me. So I just did well because I was like, oh, there's no pressure. And if I don't do good, like whatever. Whereas like you probably like, it was a different ball game.
Yeah, I mean, but my sister, since she was older than me, felt that pressure to be a great example for me. So I get that.
Yeah.
But I was also looking at her and I'm like, girl, it's fine.
Like ease up a little for me. Like
yeah,
it's hard
like,
back here.
Damn. And so I did not do well at that school. And so I begged my parents to let me go to public school. I'm like, you guys,
Like
my best friend Katie just went and she's having a blast. I would go on Facebook and just like see her at the
you're
football
so jealous.
games.
Like you're like this bitch.
Oh my God, they were allowed to have school dances. We couldn't.
Oh my
Grinding's
gosh.
a sin.
We had school dances. That was
What
crazy.
was that like?
I'm not gonna say any names because like this, we had this kid in my class and he like did pull out a pair of scissors and threatened to stab the entire class, and I did have to like pick him up because he was tinier than me and throw him, and then we all ran out of the classroom, and he only got suspended for 2 days, but we're not gonna talk about him because he's like a whole other story. But he had
Oh
like
my God. Okay.
severe ADHD. And at all the school dances, there was actually just us fighting for our lives because none of us told our parents that like this kid was insane, because we were like, we were young. So it's like
Right.
you don't want to like, you don't say anything, like at least for me, like growing up when I was in Catholic school, it was not like, oh yeah, we have this like crazy kid in my class. So it was just like, how's school? Good. So it was like,
I almost got stabbed today.
yeah, like we would go to these dances and he would like refuse to take his ADHD medication all day long. And then at the dance, he would show up with pixie sticks and just shovel them in his mouth and then chase us all around and be like, ah! So like,
Are you kidding?
I'm so serious.
So he just completely ruined the vibe.
Oh,
every
entirely.
time.
And then we ended up, when I transferred
Pixie
to like
sticks.
middle school, we had like dances. And then in high school, we didn't even have like a senior. No, literally like
Snorting pixie sticks.
he was like, it was like crackhead vibes to the roof.
And he was allowed to come every time?
Yeah.
Okay.
The parents thought we were playing tag. Like, no, it's not. Like, yeah, we're all running from one person, but it's like, because we know if we get caught, like, we might die, girl.
It looks like you're having fun.
We're like,
running
ah,
around.
no, please. They're like, oh, look at those kids. So cute. They're like, you guys look like you're having so. We're like, please help us.
You're like crying.
like bawling our eyes out. Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay. So you guys were allowed to dance. What was the music like? Was it all worship music?
So like it was because it would be themes. Like for Halloween, it was like the Monster Mash. Then we had Michael Jackson.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, and like we would have like fun little dances. But what sucked? Well, not really what sucked, but it was like the younger kids. I remember in like the not fifth grade. Like there was like an upper hall and a lower hall.
Okay.
And I was around the third grade, got really close with the fourth grade class. My entire third grade class was we had 3 girls. We had like 19 kids in my class, all boys.
Oh,
but
hell no. Are you serious?
yeah, the class above me though, all girls, 3 boys. So I would go to them at lunch and like, I just started hanging out with them one day. And I would sit with them at lunch, and I had this character that I would like play for them.
Ooh,
and
what
his name was Lucas.
Lucas.
And I would pretend that Lucas would possess my body.
Okay.
And I would like raise the table with my hands and tell them that I was raising it with like my mind. And I'd be like, hey. Like this is like me in the third grade. Like that's how they all loved it. We got really close. But what sucked was when fourth grade rolled around, I couldn't go to their dance because I was still in lower hall. So our dance was earlier in the day and they had their dance later in the day. So I couldn't see them. But
so you were with all guys?
Yeah, I actually yeah.
Were the 3 girls in your grade cool, or did you?
I dated one of them. She was my girlfriend. Yeah, I accidentally threw a basketball at her head once. And then I got detention. And I told them it was an accident, but they didn't believe me.
What was it?
Yes.
Oh, so, okay.
We were playing ball tag where like if you have the ball thrown at you, you're out.
Oh, yeah.
And because my class was full of boys, they would either use a basketball or like one of those rubber balls. And when I tell you, they would like wind it up and peg it at you. Like when that shit hit you, it was like you got hit by a bullet.
Oh my God.
And one day I was and I was trying to get this girl, I'm not going to say her name, but I was trying to get her out.
Okay.
So I like had the basketball. I tossed it. And as I
Totally.
tossed, she was in front of me. I was only supposed to hit her back, but she turns around and it hit her head. And then my teacher was like, you did that on purpose. And I said, she turned around.
Girl, that's not your fault.
Like, how was I supposed to know? And then she broke up with me.
Because of that.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, girl, like I'm a homo anyways. Like,
And you knew that?
Yeah. I was like, no hard feelings, babe. Like,
Oh my God.
and then the 7th grade, I went to public school.
Okay, how was that transition for you?
Horrible.
Okay.
Like actually the most horrendous transition ever known to man.
It's such a culture shock, right?
Like, first of all, it was like weird because there were things that like kids in public school would talk about, like sex and stuff like that in middle school. And I was like, oh, we cannot talk about that.
And like blowjobs.
Yes. And I'd sit there and I'll be like, but guys, that's a sin.
You're gonna go to hell.
We're like literally like that's sinful behavior.
That's lusting.
And then I was like, wait, girl, like, kind of get it. Like,
Wait.
I didn't do anything, but it was always like, okay. And then I became friends with all the girls. And then I came out as like bi. But
Okay.
before that, like, I did not understand sarcasm, like, at all.
Really?
Yeah, this kid told me that he stole something off my front porch, and he didn't. He was just, like, joking, and I fully cried in algebra class. And I was like, why would you steal? Like, stealing is so wrong.
Like, that is literally in the Bible.
Yeah, no. And then in the 8th grade, I was just like with the shits. Like it took me a year and I was like, no, we're rolling with the punches. Get out of my face.
Oh my God, yeah. When I transitioned so what really sent me over the edge my freshman year at this Christian school was I was walking up the steps
No.
to go to my Bible class.
Already no.
We have Bible class, first period,
Already
every
no
single
again.
day. Walking up the steps to it, and the hottest junior in my school, he was so hot, his name was Dylan. And he's walking behind me, and he goes, Little Baska. And I turn around, because it's Friday, and I have to wear a dress.
Yeah.
I turn around, and he goes, Your calves are massive. And I was like,
We out this bitch. Like,
first of all, I'm so insecure. I'm like 14. The hottest guy in school just said my calves were massive. I'm like, this, I can't be here anymore. I
Yeah.
cannot be here anymore. And I sucked at all of my classes.
They're so hard.
They're freaking hard.
people don't understand, like when you go to like private Catholic school or like Christian school, when I tell you the curriculum is insane. I was learning the FOIL method in the 4th grade. And if you don't know what the FOIL method is,
method?
it's when you have 2 of those like parentheses and you do the First one to the first one to the second one to the first one, second one to the second one.
Okay,
And then you do all that math. I was doing that in the 4th grade.
Like PEMDAS?
Yes.
Okay, 4th grade. That is nuts.
I was learning complex division in the 3rd grade. Girl, I barely knew how to tie my damn shoes. Like, what are we on here?
Couldn't even ride a bike.
Did you have to do the Terra Novas?
Those were like kind of like the SATs, right?
Yeah, we call them the Terrible Novas.
Terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, like in elementary school, this makes no sense.
Yeah, no, that's insane.
Oh my God. No, yeah. So that calf comment, I was like, I cried to my mom. I was like, I cannot go here next year. And so I switched over to a public school, and oh my God, I was so terrified. I knew some people that went there, like my best friend Katie, she transferred there.
Yeah.
But she had a boyfriend, and he was really hot. He was like on the football team, and she already had her core group of girlies who I knew through her, but like I was always the weird friend of Katie's that went to the Christian school. So
when you went there, it was like, oh, who's this?
and they kind of were walking on eggshells around me. Like they weren't being themselves. They felt like they had to filter themselves around me because like
They probably
was a
thought you were like
Christian.
stuck up, like,
Yes.
oh, Christian school, like this and the third, like you look down on us
Yes.
because we don't blah, blah, blah.
Yes. Oh my God. I remember my first day. I was walking to my class, my math class, and I got there kind of late, and the only seat available was in the very back next to this girl named Mackenzie.
Okay.
And Mackenzie was one of those bitches that would wear the tails. She was very goth, very emo.
Yeah.
She wore a tail, the ears,
Yeah.
like all black. And I just remember sitting there just being terrified, and I was trying to make conversation with her. We ended up being besties, dude. But she was really interesting because she was telling me about she was like a Satanist.
Oh, cool.
And that really freaked me out, but I was trying to keep an open mind because I'm like, I'm in public school. Like
Yeah.
I need to get out of my bubble and actually talk to people in real life. And she was just telling me all about her Satanism practices and like the rituals she would do and like the spells that she would cast on people.
You're like, let me not mess around with you, girly pop.
I know. I was like, I need to be your best friend.
Yeah.
And then just after every math class, I would walk out with her, and her boyfriend would meet her outside. He was also a furry,
Yeah.
and he had a leash for her. I'm not joking. Like he would put a leash on this bitch, and she would get on her hands and knees and walk around with him in the courtyard. And I'm like, bye, Mackenzie. See you tomorrow.
You're like, bye, girl.
Like, that's my bitch.
That's my girl right there. The one on her hands and knees. Work. Look at that strut.
And they would role play as cats. And I was like, wow, public school is so cool. Like this would never happen at my like this is so freeing. I felt like I could be whoever I wanted to be.
I actually, funny story, funny you mentioned this. I feel like every public school has this. This was in middle school. I'm not going to say her name because I keep it on actually I will. Her name was Caitlin. She hated me when I first went there. Like hated my guts. Like was so mean to me. And then by like 8th grade we were like chilling. I was like, okay, hey girly pop.
Yeah.
And I just remember like she came up to like my little friend group at the time. She told us she like had to like come out about something, and I was like, oh, this girl's like gay. I don't know. I thought it was gonna be like her coming out story, like a little bisexual moment, a little like I don't know, lesbian moment.
Yeah.
No, she told us she was a Therian.
What?
A Therian is someone who believes that like their soul is that of an animal. And she said that her soul was like a wolf. If you're a Therian, by the way, not judging you, because I also know that in like a lot of like Native American practices, they also believe in like spirits and like spirit animals. But like she fully would like invite us over to like
Howl
film
at the moon.
YouTube videos. Yeah, and she like tried to convince like us that we were like a pack and like a
Okay.
wolf pack. And I was like, all right, cool. And then she would like howl, and she would like show us the different meanings of different howls. And I was like, so I'm not doing that, but like so good for you.
Like the different frequencies of what howl
Like one would be like sorrow, like and then like one would be like ow.
like, ooh, I'm interested.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, you are?
No, but like
At the time, I was-
was like hey,
At the time, it was like definitely something. And again, like was Catholic school me was like, oh, like you guys are cool. Like you guys are something.
They're different.
Yeah.
I loved it though. I was eating
it's
it
like
up.
I'm not trying to like sound any type of way when I say this, but when you go to public school from a Catholic school, it's like you're at a zoo exhibit.
Oh yeah.
It's like literally everything you see is like so eye-opening because you're so sheltered
Right.
in Catholic school. And I even remember like being in Catholic school, like our teachers would talk shit about public school systems.
Yes.
They'd be like, they would never learn something like this in your grade level.
Yep.
They're so behind. You guys are going to be this and the third. And then like I went to public school and like I was smarter than everyone else. Yeah. Because like I already took all these classes like 5 years ago.
Yep.
But like everyone was so cool.
Everyone was so cool. But it was also really hard for me to like find my group of people because everyone that went to that school had been friends since they were little. Like they went to the same school when they were in elementary school. So it was really hard for me to find my group.
And just like fit in.
Yeah.
How did you make friends? I'll tell you how I did.
How did you?
I stopped girls in the hallway and would tie their shoes for them.
That's adorable.
Yeah. And then I made a Christmas tree farm petition and I wrote it up. And then I had a whole bunch of my teachers sign it. And then I put it on a wall in my homeroom. And then all the kids in my class signed it. And I brought it to my principal and I said, hey, Mr. Frick, can we have
wait. I'm sorry. Mr. Frick?
Yeah.
Mr. Frick.
His name was Mr. Frick.
Mr. Frick.
Frick, dude. Come on, Mr. Frick. What the frick?
What the frick, Frick?
And he was like, yeah, no. So I was like, what the frick, Mr. Frick? Like, give me my damn Christmas tree farm. I got all these people to sign it. Like, what's wrong with you? Also, Mr. Frick, if you are ever watching this, I actually...
Was he hot?
No.
Damn.
I like did not like this man, and I'm gonna be like really out in the open. I'm not in middle school anymore. First of all, oh my God, there was this kid in my school who like he bullied me. And he did this thing. This pissed me off so much. He went to like one of the kids in our school who had like special needs.
Sure.
And he went to the kid and like told this kid that I was taking pictures of him in the shower.
What?
So then the kid reported me to Mr. Frick, and Mr. Frick calls me downstairs in the middle of English and starts screaming in my face, being like, why are you taking pictures of him in the shower? I said, I don't even have a phone, bitch.
What?
I literally was like, I was like, how would I get into his bathroom while he's showering? I was like, who is saying these things?
Just you in the corner, like.
I was like, you actually believe this? Like, are you insane? And then he ended up calling this other kid. His name was Jake. He called Jake down.
It's
Jake was
always
the
the Jakes.
bully. And Jake's dad was like on the police force. So like he always got away with shit. And then Jake ended up getting called down because I was like, I know who did it, Mr. Frick. Like, it was Jake. Me, Jake, and this other kid are sitting down at this table. And Mr. Frick goes to the one kid. I'll just say his name. He was like, David, who started this rumor? And David literally pointed at Jake. And I said, see? And then Mr. Frick was like, you can go. I heard him screaming up the stairs. He's like, you think this is a good way to represent your community? Your father's on the police force. And this, I was like, bitch, do you think you're a good way to represent the community? You called me downstairs yelling at me about taking photos of a kid in a shower. Bitch, I'm 12. What?
I am a preteen.
Like, what is wrong with you?
Oh my God.
Not to mention this goes nowhere. And by nowhere, I mean it's going online. He slept with like half the PTA. And they had to transfer him to they had to transfer him to a different school. Like the tea I have on this man, like, and he made my life hell.
How did people find out?
He slept with half the PTA. Moms speak. Like
Mom speak. Like
moms speak. They're like, ooh, you know who I got the good from? And then the other mom was like, who? And then she's like, Mr. Frick. And then the other mom's like, no way, because I got the good from him too. And then Bethany on the other side is like, me too.
Oh my God.
That's wild.
That is so bizarre. That was your first year at a public school?
Yep.
That was your first year at a public school?
Yeah, and then my second year, I got valedictorian.
There you go.
Yeah, when we went to
Take your power back.
I did. And when we went to Washington, D.C., I had a science teacher, Mrs. Lortz. Loved her.
Love her.
But like by 8th grade, she hated me because like I came in as a Catholic school kid, like really good. And then by 8th grade, I was just like, girl, we're talking in class. Like, I don't care. So I'd be talking to my friends and she'd be like, Spencer, what happened to you? And I'd be like, sorry, girl. But I remember on the field trip, oh, this is so bad. we were
Give it to me.
we all had like these matching hoodies, right? And Mrs. Lortz was short. Like,
Matching hoodies for the field trip.
yeah.
Okay.
Mrs. Lortz was like real short. Like and at the time, a close friend of mine, Lydia, my Catholic school had shut down
Okay.
right after I had left, mysteriously.
Huh.
And
I
then
wonder why.
the kids from my Catholic school, depending on like where they lived, they either went to my elementary school or like the different, because you know in like Catholic school, if it doesn't matter where you're from, you just go.
Right.
So I was like buddies with Lydia. I turned around for like 1 second and Lydia was gone. And I see her like up ahead of me and Lydia was short. And we had this like little joke where like I would like run up to her and like rub her head and be like, "You're my little burrito." So I like ran up to who I thought was Lydia.
Hang on. So like, why?
I don't know. We were weird. We went to Catholic school.
You're my little burrito.
That's what we did.
Okay.
So then I ran up to what I thought was Lydia. Mind you, the top of like faculty is behind me at this point now. Like they're behind me. Like I see like what are they called? Like when you're like top faculty, like they're like head board of like the school system. They're all behind. Yeah, the superintendent.
Oh my God.
She was on the field trip. Literally, and she was standing right behind Lydia. So I just said, "Excuse me," and I get to Lydia, and I'm like rubbing her head, and I'm
Hey, my little burrito.
"Who's my little burrito?" Mrs. Lortz turns around, and she's like, "What are you doing?" I thought I actually was gonna die until the superintendent like actually started laughing her ass off, and I was like, "Mrs. Lortz, I thought you were Lydia. I'm so sorry." And then at the Lincoln Memorial, I got in trouble because I was teaching everyone how to whip.
You're lying.
At the Lincoln Memorial, Mrs. Lortz yelled at me again and she was like, "Spencer, like
You're
you."
whipping at
The
the
Lincoln Memorial. Mrs. Lortz was like, "Spencer, this is not how the valedictorian acts." And I'm literally there like, "Guys, it goes like this."
It goes,
"Huh, ah." And everyone was like, "Yeah.
So much history is here.
Yeah." I know the conversation just abruptly stopped, but that's because we're going to play a little story game and we're going to pull words out of a bowl. And those words are loosely based off of Sarah Baska YouTube videos, and we're going to make a story about it. Well,
Okay.
stories that we've experienced or like at least remember.
Okay. You go first.
Okay, I'll go first.
All right.
Europe/travel story. Oh, I have a travel story and this is not good. The first time I ever went on a plane, it was with Spirit.
Oh, girl.
Like, first of all, when I tell you this is my high school paid for us to go to Nebraska for like a thespians. I made it to nationals and like my thespian society. I did theater in high school. If you didn't know, now you know. And I made it to nationals from states. So we were getting flown out to Nebraska and the school was paying for it.
Wow.
But clearly the school did not give a damn about our safety because they booked us with Spirit. When I tell you that we didn't even have overhead bins, it was a net. Like you had
net.
to pull, like, you know, like when you have like those like, you had to pull down the net, shove it in, and then release the net so it would just cover it.
Yes.
Long story short, it was my first flight, had never been on a plane before, super nervous. So I'm chugging water like it is my bitch before this plane ride.
You've never been on a plane either.
At
And
the
it's
time-
Spirit.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I get on this damn plane, sit down. I immediately have to pee. Like, holy God, I had to pee so bad. I look at the flight attendant. I'm like, "Ma'am, can I please go to the bathroom?" She said, "I mean, if you want to risk it, you can, but seatbelt light's still on."
Risk what?
Right. So I am sitting there. I wait for the seatbelt light to turn off. I sprint to this damn bathroom. I am literally in this bathroom. It is going. There's no stopping it. All of a sudden, I hear boom behind me. I turn around and I see the light go on. I then hear on the thing, "Attention all passengers, please buckle your seatbelts. We are about to hit turbulence." Bitch, we did not hit turbulence. We hit a flock of something because the way I was flying around that bathroom, but again, I couldn't stop peeing.
In the street.
I need to show you what it looked like. I need to stand up and show you.
No, please.
Just
Give
for
me
like
a
the
demonstration.
visual.
There's no way.
This was me. I literally was trying to like, I don't know if you guys can see me. I was gripping onto the wall, but I'm like peeing and I'm, whoa.
Oh my
Like,
God.
everywhere. When I tell you,
Oh my
when
God.
I tell you, piss all over the bathroom walls. I mean, like everywhere. And at the time, my friend Malaysia, who was on the flight with me, she had the window seat. Wait, it gets worse. It gets so much worse. My friend Malaysia, who was sitting next to me on the flight, I get back. I had the aisle seat. She had windows, so she didn't even know I was gone, and she was asleep. I get back. I accidentally, I guess I kicked her leg or something, because she woke up and she was like, damn, I have to pee. And I was like, girl, I literally, and I didn't want to say anything. Mind you, prior, I had gotten the flight attendant, and I was like, look, I was in the bathroom when we hit turbulence. I'll clean it. And she was like, no, it happens. Don't worry. So she's getting the cleaning supplies, and Malaysia gets up to go to the bathroom.
Oh, no.
She walks out of this bathroom, comes back, grips my seat and this random stranger seat. She goes, Spencer, someone just pissed all over the bathroom walls. I literally was like,
wait,
I
what?
was like,
Who
no.
would do that?
I was like, no way. No, that is so disgusting.
That's so disrespectful.
Who would do that? Who would do such a grotesque thing?
Vile.
She sat down and I said, bitch, it was me. Yeah, I was like, girl, I had...
And what are you supposed to do?
I literally, what was I had no there was no stopping it. Guys, I'm sorry if you were on that flight that day.
They're
I am
traumatized.
so sorry. I'm
They're
really
thinking
sorry.
about it every day.
I'm sure they are.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
and
it
I'm
was
sure
crazy.
it wasn't just the wall. It was probably on
Oh, when I say everywhere, I mean dripping down the walls everywhere. It sounds nasty, but also I need you to imagine me chugging 2 huge bottles of water.
Yeah.
And getting on this plane and then that much water coming out of me.
Oh my God. And then when the turbulence, you're like, please stop, please stop.
I literally was just
Stop.
hoping, my only goal was to just make sure it didn't get on me.
Sure.
And it didn't.
Good.
I was good with that.
You were just like, me.
Yeah, I was like, I made sure just it was going somewhere, just
I'll make a little painting.
it was yeah, no, that's actually what it felt like.
Wait, oh my God. That's brilliant. What a
Thanks.
brilliant story. That's your first time flying too.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
it was
But
something.
Can I just say something?
What? Yes.
Thank you. Theater kids, I was always so jealous of you guys. I was always so jealous of you guys. I was a choir kid, so I was always in the same
I was in choir too.
cool. I was in I was in the same building as you guys.
Yeah.
And I would always see the theater kids and the way that they were just able to express themselves
And not give a shit.
and not give a shit. And I always wanted to sign up for theater, but I was so insecure about being at this new school where I was like, I don't want to. Not saying that theater kids were weird, but
no, we were weird.
but I loved that though.
Yeah, I feel the minute, when you're a theater kid and it's I feel, how do I put this? It's very much I don't want to say we could just fall back on oh, we're theater kids, but we like performing, we like being out there, we liked just being ourselves, and it's everything I guess is a performance in our brains. So it's just we're just gonna be ourselves, and I'm not saying we didn't have a filter, because we definitely did, but it wasn't I didn't go to school every day being ugh. Well, actually I did, but when I was in my theater class, I was never ugh, I wonder what everyone's thinking about me.
Sure.
It was just when I was with my theater friends, we didn't give a shit.
Because you guys were such a close-knit community.
Yeah, but when we went to diners, we weren't those bitches who were let's stand up and sing a song. You know?
I kind of wish you would.
We
I would
weren't,
enjoy
and at
that.
lunch, we didn't sing like that either, but.
So was it musicals and regular plays?
So I went to a vocational high school.
Okay.
Where I majored in theater and I got college credits in theater. So we had the one acts. We had the fall and spring one acts.
Okay.
Anybody in freshman to senior, anyone could audition.
Oh, cool.
Also, if you were outside of the shop, you could audition. Then we had shows based on your grade, where our teachers would pick shows for us to perform in.
Oh, cool.
And then we would audition for those, do those shows. Then we had our musical. And do you know Paper Mill Playhouse?
I think so.
It's big in New Jersey. Anne Hathaway started there.
Oh, cool.
So Paper Mill is kind of New Jersey's Broadway.
Oh, okay.
So
cool.
we were, my high school every year was in the Paper Mill Playhouse competition.
Wow.
And then we also did.
Did you ever sing? You can sing?
Well, I never got a lead role. But that was because by the time I was a senior, I didn't do the musical. And for when you're a senior, that's you get the leads. It doesn't matter how good or bad you are. It's just a rite of passage. And when
Yeah.
I was a senior, the like musical director changed and it was just like a mess. And I was like, not doing this. Bye.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah. But we did like Stange, Thespian Society. So like we would like travel on the weekends, go to like different competitions, meet other theater kids.
Fun. Are you still friends with them?
No.
Totally.
I mean, like I'm friendly with them. But it's just kind of like we don't really talk anymore.
Sure.
I used to be in like the theater group chat, like we had one,
Oh, that must have been lit.
but I left it. Like when I was in like
okay,
I
never
did.
mind.
Like when I was like in college, it was just like, how do I put this? Like the same people like would just, it was like my entire shop. My phone was constantly like, I hate seeing notifications. And at the time, like this was like before I even like did anything with TikTok. I was just like, I don't want to see all these notifications. I have your numbers. I'll just leave.
Yeah.
And then like after like I did
And
social
you can't even
media,
get a
it's just-
word in.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about?
I just like, I don't want to see like 1,000 notifications, you know?
yeah. And everyone kind of just goes on their separate.
And then after a while, like it became one of those like the same 3 people would just like send stuff in there every once in a while. And I was like, oh, okay, like
like a meme or like a.
yeah, I was like, we're out this bitch now. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like,
We all have different interests now.
yeah,
I'm
we're all
sure.
like on different paths. But I did meet up with a few of them. We saw In the Heights when I was in theaters. I saw that with them, which
Oh,
was really nice.
cool. Oh my God, I love that.
Because we performed it in high school. It was our musical.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I would always go to all the shows at my school and I would sit there just being like, I want to do that. But I was too scared. And I had one wish if I could go back to high school, be in theater. It just looked like so much fun.
It was.
Oh
my
choir
gosh.
was lit too.
The best part about our musicals was because we were like in the competition. We had Tech Week.
Ooh.
Tech Week every single day, like throughout the school day, we didn't have to go to class. We had to make sure to like keep up with all the work, and like we could attend certain classes. Like if you were like struggling in math, you would go to math. If you were struggling in English, you'd go to English.
Yeah.
If you had a test, you would go take the test. But like for a majority of the day, we were just like performing and having fun and doing like dress rehearsal runs. And I even remember the day before the show, like you're in school all day because you do the night performance, which is on the Friday. And then that Saturday and Sunday you do performances. You do like, I think 2 or 3 in one day. There's a morning.
Like a matinee.
Yeah,
and
there's a
then-
morning, noon, and the night. And for that Friday, it was kind of like we all were just having a sleepover because we would all just go into our black box theater after school, nap, wake up, get ready for the musical and perform.
Isn't it so exhilarating being at school at nighttime for
Oh
a
my
performance?
God.
Something about that
it. It's
vibe.
like, ooh.
And then you're like in your little costume.
like, I'm not supposed to be here right now.
I know it feels really naughty. I like want to run around the courtyard and like do some shit, break into my.
And then when they like
geometry room.
did they make food for you? Like when you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they made we had a culinary arts like part of our school, and they would like, I remember there was this girl who used to like make cookies and like bring them to different classes, and they like kids in the culinary arts, like they were able to bring stuff they made in class to your classes. And I always had kids in culinary arts like come up to me in the hallway and be like, you want a cookie?
Absolutely, I want a
I
cookie.
felt like I went to Hollywood Arts.
No, seriously, that's what it sounds like. That's an amazing experience. Right.
You said right, bitch.
Right.
All right, guys, Sarah's pulling her topic out of the bowl now.
Okay, mine is Vine / Musically memories. I'm literally screaming.
Oh wow, you ate that up, huh? Oh, I sounded so mask for mask there.
I was never on Musically, but I did start out on Vine. And I mean,
What was your
okay.
most viral Vine?
Girl, I don't know. This was my thing. I would get home from public school and I was in volleyball
Were
for
you
the first.
in like Vine in high school?
Oh yeah. So the first year of this public high school, I had volleyball, and so I was on that team. But then after first year of volleyball, I was like, these bitches.
Were you a freshman when you started or sophomore?
Oh wait, no, you're right. I was a sophomore when I was at the public school.
Oh.
Joined the volleyball team. It was so competitive. It was just too much. The coach hated me. I was one of the best ones on the team, but she just didn't like me. I don't know why. So I quit volleyball. And then I would come home from school every day and I'm like, what am I doing with myself? What do I do with my time? My parents were working. It was just me in the house. And I had so much energy to exude. but I didn't have a lot of friends in high school, so I just felt like I had so much pent up
Like shit you wanted to
personality.
say,
Yeah, like just personality. And so I would just get on my phone and just make vines. I was obsessed with Harry Styles and One Direction at the time. So I would just scream at my phone about Harry Styles. Said the most insane shit. And I never thought that anyone would watch it. So I would just say what was ever on my mind. And then I just posted a bunch, and then people just started watching me and watching me and watching me, and I was getting a huge following, and I was freaking
How
out
many
about
followers
it.
did you have on Vine?
Like almost 1 million. While I was in high school, where people didn't really know me, I would just kind of go class to class. Like everyone thought I was just like the chill girl that was kind of friends with everyone, but I really masked my personality at school.
Yeah.
So when I started getting big on Vine, and people from high school started seeing that shit and seeing me scream about how I want to just Harry Styles.
Yeah.
I would say very insane things on the internet. People started following and talking about me when I was walking through the hallways. And so I went home and I blocked everybody from my high school. I would go to one bitch's page, go through all of their following, block, 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 block. All the hotties on the football team who I desperately wanted to like me, block, block. Like I blocked everyone, bitch. And then I would go to school the next day and everyone thought that I was like some pretend, like they were like, oh, she blocked me. She thinks she's so much better than me. So I was like, what the f, you guys?
Like I just don't want you seeing my shit.
Yeah. And then I think it really clicked for them that they can't make fun of me anymore. It was once I graduated high school and then Vine invited me out to the VMAs to like host something
Yeah.
for like the behind, and then people were like, oh wait, this is actually really cool. Why was I bullying this girl? I'm like, yeah, y'all. Like, oh my God. I'm screaming about Harry Styles, but hello, I built a really great community. Ugh,
You guys
whatever.
are just mad.
That was kind of just my only Vine experience, I guess. It was just me going home and just screaming about things.
See, I'm just really glad that when I was like, actually, that's a lie, because I was gonna say something. The lie didn't come out yet. When I was in, when I was in college, like I didn't have, like the largest following, but I had like, I think around 800. Well, when I say the largest following, I mean compared to what I have now.
Sure.
I had 800K in a very small town. So like everyone knew what was going on. And I remember like walking to class and people would be like, oh, I love your TikTok videos. And I'd be like, thanks. But like after COVID hit, I was like, thank God.
Did you hate it when people would come up to you?
No, it was just like awkward because
Yeah.
it's like I'm in school and like I obviously like I'm looking like for hot guys and it's like I'm now online comparing myself to Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I'm online like making these like cringy POV videos and like now all of a sudden like this guy that I think is a hottie is like, oh wow, no. Actually, I once made a video about this really hot guy. There was like an audio and I literally was like, I like filmed him for like 5 seconds and people tried to cancel me. They were like, he didn't consent to being filmed. And I said,
please.
I was like, bitch, please shut up. Like you guys literally when there are celebrities walking about, take photos of them and they didn't consent to it.
Right.
Like this man is just hot. Like shut up.
Yeah.
I took a photo of him or like a video of him and I literally was in the library. I had headphones in and I was like, the video got like 300,000 likes.
Oh,
He was the top comment.
Oh my God, no.
And he was like, oh, that's me. Thanks, man.
Ah!
I wanted to actually like, it was thanks, man. I was
Thanks,
out.
man. Period.
I was out. I
That's-
literally, then COVID happened and I was like, God is on my side. Well,
Yo, okay. When I was a junior, the hottest guy on the basketball team, the hottest guy.
Yeah.
He kind of had a crush on me.
Right.
And so he would like walk me to class sometimes. And homecoming was coming up. So everyone was like talking about who they're going to homecoming with. And the rumor was this guy was going to ask me to go to, and he is the most popular guy, captain of the basketball team. And I was so insecure where I was like, there's no way he's going to ask me. Like, you guys are crazy. Like,
Yeah.
stop. And then, one day he walked me to class, and I think that this is the moment that he's gonna ask me, because he's being all like awkward and nervous, and I'm like, oh my God, just say it. He didn't end up asking me, and I was like, okay, whatever. I go to class, and then the next day, one of his friends told me, because I was like, you told me that he was gonna ask me to, like, why isn't he doing it yet? It's literally in 2 days. And he was like, he found your Vine account. Thinks you're kind of weird. And I was like, awesome. That's the one person I forgot to block. Oh my God. You think that I would have been on that? Oh my God.
He found your Vine account?
He found my Vine
He's
account.
He's a weird ass bitch for finding it anyways.
But
You're weird.
Yes.
What's his name?
I don't want to say it.
You're weird. Do you want to know why? You didn't go to prom with someone because of Vine?
And we would have had so much fun.
Yeah,
okay?
and joke's on you, weird ass bitch.
I can dance. I can get down. Like, that would have been so much fun, okay?
Right. Tell him.
Yeah.
Tell him.
You know what?
Tell him, friend.
And then the next year, my senior year, I went with this one guy because I had to ask him. No one wanted to ask me. So I asked.
You're weird as hell.
And so I asked this guy, and guess what? In the party bus, I was dancing so hard on this guy, I ripped his jeans. I can get down. So, hey, you missed out on a really good time. I almost could have ripped your jeans in half.
So go backing you up. Yeah. Get your jeans ripped.
Like, literally, the front of his jeans were ripped. And so we had to borrow a shirt from someone else to cut. It was bad.
Okay, guys, I'm picking out a little thingy-majig, and I'll tell you. Pudding cups. I don't get it.
Do you have any experience with pudding?
I mean, like, my mom used to make rice pudding, and it was really good. But,
There
like,
you go.
it was never in a pudding cup.
Totally.
Do you have a pudding story?
Yeah, I'll make it really short. We were carpooling this one bitch to my volleyball practice. Her name was Trudy.
Yeah.
And me and my sister are driving. We pick up Trudy because she was our neighbor. And we're driving. And first of all, she comes into our car. She has nothing in her hands. Like, there's nothing in her hands. And we were driving. And then all of a sudden, we get to the school for our practice. And then we just hear, guys, from the backseat. Me and my sister turn around and we're like, Trudy, what? And there's pudding all over our car. Like, I'm not kidding. On the walls, on the ceiling, on the windows, all over her. And we were like, Trudy. Like,
What the hell?
we were like, and she's like, I don't know how this happened. And we were like, what are you talking about? Like, you must have had pudding. Like, it's okay. Like, you can say that you ate pudding. Like, it's okay. And she was like, I swear to God, I don't even eat pudding. Like, I don't even like pudding. We're like, Trudy, I don't think we've ever eaten pudding in our lives, dude. It was you, and it's fine. Like, it was smeared everywhere. And she denies it to this day, bro. Like, we got into volleyball practice, and I'm howling at the moon, like, telling everybody, and Trudy's face is just beet red, being like about to cry. Because, like I said, my sister was the most popular girl ever. So she's like, it wasn't me, you guys. And we're like, Trudy,
Trudy, it was you, girl.
you know it was you. And I ran into her a few years ago for Christmas. We went to the bars, and she came up to me and she was like, and I was like, Trudy, we're not having this conversation. We're not having this conversation. And dude, for the rest of the year, everyone called her Pudding Trudy. Everyone would be like, what up, Pudding? And she was like, I made a video about it, like, right when it happened, because I was dying about it. And my title was The Pudding Bitch Mystery. Because, like, come on, Trudy.
I have to wait. It was a Vine?
It was a YouTube video from years ago, probably like 5-6 years ago. But oh my God. And everyone in the comments was like trying to figure out what could have happened. It's like, no, it's not. She was eating pudding in our backseat.
A bucket of it? Like,
I think this is my theory. I think she like had a pudding cup and then ripped it too hard and then it just like went everywhere. But my sister also drove a Mercedes, so it was just like, that wasn't me. It's like, dude, it's fine. We can clean it up. Just don't lie to us. What? Oh my God, it was so ridiculous.
Reading/writing fanfics.
Oh, have you?
Oh, well, sorry guys, I just pulled.
Oh yeah.
I pulled out.
He pulled out.
Reading/writing fanfics. No, but when I was like heavily into One Direction, I read a lot of smut. Like so much of it, it's disgusting.
God.
And I did try to write smut, but like it didn't go the way I had like planned. So, yeah.
Like about who? Who was your fave?
Harry.
Doy.
Oh, I had the biggest crush on Zayn too.
Okay, yeah.
I wanted Zayn to hit it.
Oh,
But
100%.
Also, I was like, what, 13?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my God, yeah.
and then someone made a smut about me.
Someone made a smut about you.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that that's like out of pocket and crazy. You're hot. You're amazing. But like,
No, yeah, it happened. I think they removed it off of Wattpad because I made a video about it.
oh really?
Yeah.
Oh my, was it very explicit?
No.
Okay. Did you kind of like reading it? You're like, oh.
Yeah, I
This is
did.
giving me some ideas.
No, I was like reading it and I was like, damn, like people actually like me enough to write smut about me. Like that eats.
That does, like, people fantasize about me? Damn. Omegle. The trauma.
The deep sigh that just came out of both of our mouths.
My God.
Jesus Christ.
Omegle.com. Oh my God, bro. Omegle, that was just the thing that me and my friends did at every sleepover. When we wanted to talk to boys, but no boys wanted to talk to us, what do? We go on Omegle. And we talked to so many boys who were probably way older than us. And it was probably very problematic, but we just loved flirting with them. And that was the first time I've ever seen a penis. And it was very traumatizing because I don't have brothers, you know. I didn't hook up with people in middle school and barely even in high school even. So seeing an actual dick at an angle where it's just so high definition scarred me so badly. I'm like, am I a lesbian? Because like that's not,
yeah.
I don't know if I want to be near one of those.
Yeah, and like I feel like a lot of the ones I saw, especially on Omegle, were huge.
Humongous.
And I was like, oh.
Yeah. And it's like, what are we doing here? Like, from their perspective, I always, like, them just to what? To other people jacking off?
Like, oh no.
It was mostly dicks.
You know what I used to do with my friends? We did do Omegle for a while, and then we signed
Oh, just say
we
it.
would down, you know, like those like apps you could like get a fake phone number.
Oh, yeah.
We would download an app, get a fake phone number, and then sign our number up to be in like a sex line.
Shut up.
And my friends, I would literally hop on the phone and because I was so good at doing prank calls.
Oh, yeah.
I would never laugh, but I would have to mute and laugh at times, but we would have these grown ass men calling my friend Jessica's phone. And I'd be like, hey, hot stuff, what are you doing?
What are you wearing?
And they would literally I would literally talk to them on the phone, and I had to keep muting because I'd be laughing my ass off.
Oh, that is so genius.
Yeah, it was so
my
much fun.
Those sex lines.
All right, guys, I'm pulling the last one.
Last one. Here we go.
Dutch Bros. What the? All right, guys, I'm pulling the last one.
So, like, bros from...
Isn't Dutch Bros food?
It's a coffee stand. It's really popular in Oregon.
Oh, I've never been there.
Yeah, it's like a little drive-through coffee stand.
Dutch
It's
Bros.
cute. But all the workers there are so obnoxious. Not all of them, but they're always just like, how we doing this morning? It's like 6 a.m. It's like,
You're
oh
like,
my
shut
God.
the hell up. I want a latte, please.
They're like, what's your day looking like? And I'm like, I don't know.
Like, I
It
just woke
started.
up. Like, 'cause the sun hasn't even risen.
God, they're like on 30 milligrams of Adderall.
The last one, Club Penguin. I don't really have any stories about Club Penguin, but I do have a story. I don't know if anyone knows about this. I found this random website called Woogie World.
Woogie World.
Yeah, it was kind of like Club Penguin, but it was like for learning, and like you could have like these really cool like Woogie houses, and I got banned from it.
So how do you get banned from Woogie World?
Like
Woogie World, dude.
yeah.
Woogie World. What the actual for learning? That's really sweet and wholesome.
No, I like okay, so I and Woogie World like had this really cool hiding spot that I found.
Okay.
And I would like be like, guys, let's go to this hiding spot. Like you can message certain words, and like it's like you couldn't message certain words. Like it was just like if I said dang, that wouldn't even go through.
Dang, really?
Like dang wouldn't go through. Like it had to be like you had to use like punctual grammar. It was like very specific words. And I'd be like, I think I was like maybe in the first grade
Okay.
or second
And dang
grade.
is for first graders, that's kind of a lot.
I think it was like
right?
first or second grade, and I was like, oh, let's go to the secret hiding spot. And at the time, I just learned about like kissing. So I was like, let's kiss. Mwah. And then all of a sudden, my account got banned.
You can kiss in Woogie World?
No. No, like you can't.
So
I would just like dance on them. I'd
were
be
they
like,
like
we're kissing.
what are the Woogies?
They're like little puff balls.
Okay. Oh, that's cute.
They're like I freaking forget. But it was that and Pop Tropica. I didn't really mess around with Club Penguin.
Ah, that's very unfortunate. Those are the best years of my life.
Club Penguin. I was more of a Webkins
yeah.
girly.
See, I tried to get into Webkins, couldn't get into it.
Yeah, the Webkins, I'm not gonna lie, pissed me the hell off because you had to keep buying Webkins because yours, like the code on like one of your Webkins would expire. So like you would have one for a year and it's like, oh, time to go get a new code. Bitch, screw you.
Oh, that's so annoying. But with Club Penguin, you had to pay a membership. I begged my dad on my hands and knees to get me a Club Penguin membership just so I could buy cool outfits and deck out my igloo. And I had the coolest igloo parties ever.
I was more of a Minecraft girly.
Oh, I never got
begged
into it.
my mom for Minecraft. She actually said yes.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I like disappeared for a whole year because I would just do my homework and play Minecraft all night long.
There you go.
All night long.
We're such gamer
all
girls.
night.
Wait, go again.
All night long. All night. Oh my gosh, guess what? Tonight's karaoke night at Barney's.
Barney's?
Yeah,
Where's
Barney's
that?
Beanery.
Where is that?
It's in WeHo.
Okay.
I just brought it up because I was like thinking about it.
Oh my God. I have to go watch the Vanderpump Rules reunion, so.
Oh, I wasn't inviting you anyways. It's cool.
Oh, yeah, well, okay.
It's whatever.
I'm busy. You don't watch Vanderpump, do you?
No.
Ugh, whatever.
Okay.
You don't
fine.
get it.
I actually, one of the people on Vanderpump follows me.
Who?
I'll tell you right now. Hold on.
What?
Yeah. Turns out I can't find it.
Yeah.
Anyways, before we leave, Sarah, do you have any upcoming projects? Where can people find you on social media?
Just type my name in YouTube, Sarah Baska. Instagram, Sarah Baska. There's 2 A's at the end.
Right.
And I just like telling stories and sharing my life and all that jazz.
Anyways, you guys know where to find me. If you don't, it's Spencer on everything except Snapchat because, again, some bitch stole my username. Give it back. On Snapchat, it's Spence Maw with an M in the middle. I love you all so much. If you did not know, this podcast comes out every Thursday on all audio streaming platforms. And if you want to watch this happening live and in person, and if you want to see what I looked like peeing on my first flight, which was a Spirit Airlines flight, come to the Past Your Bedtime YouTube channel, subscribe, leave a nice little comment, like, I don't know, just show us some love because I love you guys. And if you don't show us some love, then that means you hate me. And I can't have you guys hating me. We're a family. We're all one big happy family. So come on down. And until next time.
Thank you so much for having me, by the way.
Oh, thank you for being here.
That was so fun.
All right. I love you guys. Bye.